What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Madden NFL 26 Indianapolis Colts franchise. And in today's episode, we've actually got the trade deadline in this one, which has been a long time coming. We're 1-6 coming to this one. We lost to the Chargers last week, so it's been quite the year for us on more of the negative side. We got the Titans for the second time this year, coming into, like I said, the trade deadline. Obviously, you saw last week. We got torched by Justin Herbert, 5 touchdowns. But we also got to see Daniel Jones for the first time this season, and he played really well, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was pretty efficient in terms of throwing the football. But in terms of the defense, we just absolutely got torched. Talking about Anthony Richardson, he's going to sit this one out in this game. 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He hasn't been terrible, but he definitely has not been great. As the season has progressed, he's been very inconsistent in the later stages of the year. He's thrown an interception every game, but of course the last one, which he got subbed out because he just wasn't playing up to par. Since talking about the trade deadline, Grover Stewart is one of the top guys I'm thinking about moving on from. He has star development. He has a big contract. He's making $15 million for the next 2 years. So I'm not sure that's something you want to obviously pay throughout this time period, and maybe trading him away could open up some cap room. Another guy that I'm interested in moving on from is Kwity Paye, one of our edge rushers. The big thing with him is that his contract is expiring when the year is up. He hasn't been crazy. I think he's been probably the worst edge rusher of the 4 we've been playing around with this season. His contract is pretty big. I don't really love the whole $13 million, and he could be asking for just that much more next season. I'm looking at the edge rushing room. Got Latu, got Tui Malu. I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. I don't know why I keep saying his name wrong. But we got solid edge rushers on this team, and with the draft coming, I think we could find some solid pieces in the NFL draft or even in free agency. This one might come as a shocker, but Alec Pierce is another guy I'm thinking about moving on from. He was non-existent in the last game against the Chargers. He has been fun this year. He is asking for $27 million, $9 million for 3 years, which I don't love for a player like Alec Pierce. I think he's solid, but do I think he's worth $9 million a year? I don't know. So he is a guy that I'm also interested in trading. I don't know if we've looked at this at all this year, but looking at some of the contracts, Daniel Jones does have an expiring contract. How he does might determine whether or not he is going to come back to his team. I'm not entirely sure, but that's something we'll have to find out as we progress. Looking at the standings, we are the worst team in the NFL, tied with the Browns and Chiefs for the worst record. Crazy to see that the Chiefs are among the teams as being one of the worst, and surprisingly, we're the worst team in the NFL with how bad we've been playing and how poorly we've been throughout the year. In the same conversation with a team like Cleveland, which has just never been good. A Dolphins team even is playing really bad. But looking at trade options for Alec Pierce, these options I didn't necessarily love. I do these mostly to kind of get an idea of what teams really want. But then again, a lot of trades to me don't really make a lot of sense because CP just asks for crazy stuff like Cam Jordan for 2 picks for Alec Pierce for 1 year, and the potential that they could just end up not re-signing him is pretty outlandish. And Jerome Baker for a 6th and a 7th for Alec Pierce for the Titans isn't too crazy for them, but not too bad for them. Look at teams around the league. I may want to focus on teams that are struggling in the passing game, or really mostly offense. You got teams like the Ravens, who are a really good running team, but a very poor passing team, which makes a lot of sense. The Falcons are kind of up there, the Panthers and the Steelers. And I ended up picking the Carolina Panthers, We're going to trade Alec Pierce to Carolina, and in exchange, we'll take a draft pick. The 3rd round draft pick from 2027. Now, why the Carolina Panthers? Well, Carolina's receiving core is not entirely too amazing. They have Terrell McMillan, but they don't really have a strong number 2 target that Bryce Young really needs on this roster. So I really think that he'll be a fun addition to a Panthers team that is trying to compete in the NFC South. Speaking of the NFC South, there were a few teams I actually wanted to send Grover Stewart to, and the Falcons were kind of one of them. Falcons do have a really good defensive roster, mainly in their secondary. They have Ricky Rohoro. I'm sorry, I'm saying his name wrong. But they have Onyemata. The issue with this trade would be Onyemata and Grover Stewart have basically similar contracts. Another team that I was thinking of were the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers have Micah Parsons on their team, and that's mostly kind of about it in terms of how good their defense looks on paper. Then there were the Chargers. The Chargers beat the brakes off us. They don't really have a really good tight defensive tackle in terms of overall rating. But they're still a really fun team. They have Khalil Mack. They don't have Joey Bosa anymore, but their defense is still as stout as ever. Tyler Tart, he hasn't played too bad this year. So I think Grocer would be a really good addition to this defense. I mean, they've got like I said, a pretty stacked defense, mostly in their front seven, more so in their secondary, if you ask me personally. I think they do need some heavy hitting linebackers, but the Chargers honestly weren't the team that we sent Grover Stewart to. Another team that looked really interesting were the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think, are the best team in the NFC South. They've got a really good defense led by Vita Vea, a really good front seven, Yaya Diaby, and Calais Campbell, who is obviously over the age of 30, but Calais Campbell still could be Calais Campbell. They got Kaiser White. They got a really good secondary with Jamal Dean, Zion McCollum, which granted he is young, but you never know, he could develop. We tried out a deal first, Grover Stewart and a fifth this year with a fourth next year. In exchange, we take Kalijah Cansey off their hands, who is a young defensive tackle with star development, and their first round pick for next season. I know this is a big ask, taking a first round pick off of any team's hands when you're not sending away a superstar player. And originally they said no, but they're pretty close in terms of asking price. So we switched it up a bit and asked for a second round pick. And they said yes. So we take Kalijah Cansey off the hands of the Buccaneers. In exchange, we'll give up Grover Stewart a fifth this year and a fourth next season. And we'll take that second round pick next year off their hands. I'm not particularly saying the Buccaneers will be terrible next year, but I think with a lot of the ages stacking up, I think they will be a little bit worse. Hence why I wanted to take a high-end pick. Plus, it gives us a lot more draft capital for the future if we opt to maybe trade that pick away or whatever the case may be. With us losing a roster spot, you have to refill it. So we'll take Jalen Reeves-Maybin from free agency. He is a linebacker and left linebacker, which we do kind of need. We need some more depth there. Sengun Alubi, as I mentioned, is more of a run stopper, pass coverage, or pass rush kind of player, and he just doesn't fit the bill as pass coverage, so we'll take Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Let's look at some other trades around the league. The Texans are going all in on Colton Miller. They're giving up a stockload of draft picks. They're giving away 2 seconds, a third, and a fourth round pick, as well as Cam Robinson for Colton Miller. Now, why are the Texans giving up so much for a player like Colton Miller? Well, Colton Miller, one, has a 4-year deal on his contract, so he's going to be on his team for the long haul. He is 29, so he's not going to get much better in his later years. The protection has been pretty bad for CJ Stroud, and Cam Robinson has been the focal point of that. Plus, the Texans are 2-4, they need to be a little bit better. The Raiders, while they are winning a lot of games, aren't necessarily a team that's built for the long haul, so they'll be taking a lot of draft picks. Another move, the Bills are taking Chidobe Awuzie and Tylan Wallace from the Ravens. In exchange, the Ravens will take Joshua Palmer and a 5th round pick. This trade is more the Ravens don't have a lot of receiver depth and their passing game needs to improve a lot. They've got a lot of cornerbacks and the Bills need a bit of help in their secondary, surprisingly, even though they are perfect in the league right now. But they need a little bit of help, so they'll take Chidobe Awuzie. That's really the big trade-off. And Joshua Palmer will go to the Ravens, and they'll get a little bit of pick incentive. The Bills are one of the best teams in the league, so they don't really have a high pick, but you can find some steals. You never know. The Falcons are going to get involved in the trade deadline nonsense. They'll be giving away a few draft picks for Allen Lazard. The biggest draw for the Packers here is that second rounder for next season, because it's a second round pick and it's a high pick, especially if the Falcons end up performing really bad. The Falcons, on their hand, surprisingly do not have a lot of great coverage in their receiving game. They do have Drake London, and Kyle Pitts is there, but Kyle Pitts hasn't developed into the player that he should have been, and Donald Mooney is going to win you a lot of games. Allen Lazard will hopefully become their receiver number 2. The Chargers are going to take Demario Davis off the hands of the Saints. The Saints is trying to get rid of that huge contract that they had to deal with Demario Davis. He is At the age of 35, he's not going to get any better. The Chargers are all in trying to win, getting to maybe the Super Bowl. And with their record so far, they're looking like it. The Chargers will give up a future fourth round pick. Obviously, Demar Davis being old, he's not worth a whole lot. The Panthers are going to make another deal. They're trading for Jonnu Smith. And really the biggest draw for this deal, the biggest draw for this deal is those two draft picks, a little bit of draft capital that could help them for the future. They are late picks, but still will help out a lot. The Commanders are sending Bobby Wagner to the Dallas Cowboys as the final deal in the trade deadline. The Commanders are trying to get rid of a big contract in Bobby Wagner. The Cowboys need help on their defensive front after losing Micah Parsons. So basically a divisional trade. Like I said, that's it for the trade deadline. And surprisingly enough, some people might ask why we didn't move on from Kenny Moore despite how inconsistent he's really been this year. He's been easily our worst defender, especially in one-on-one coverage. But he's got 2 years left. I don't want to just give up on the guy. I think he can improve over time. I don't think we're going to find a much better cornerback, at least this year. We could next year, maybe in the off season in free agency. But who can say? We sent away Grover Stewart. He's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he can thrive next to a player like Vita Vea. I think that's a fun little duo on Tampa Bay in the NFC South. Also want to point out the NFC South, every team in that division ended up making a trade, which is kind of fun because the NFC South is one of the closer divisions of the entire NFC next to the NFC North. Another player that we didn't end up moving on from was Quiddy Pay. I think I am going to let his contract run out. It's not saying that I am going to re-sign him or if we're going to let him go, but he is right now. He's still going to be on the team. I think he is someone to consider keeping on, whether or not we are going to keep him on the team and have him play long term or not. But we got a game to play, and it's against the Tennessee Titans. And last time he got completely destroyed, 41-21. Our offense looked pretty poor, but our defense looked about as bad as it's always been this year. Cam Ward threw 300 yards on us. Tony Pollard had 168, and he ran all over us. He also had a hat trick with 3 touchdowns, which if you don't watch hockey, then ignore what I said. We're 1-6. Now the thing about Cam Ward, since his win against us, he's thrown 5 interceptions and 1 touchdown. And the Titans are 1-3. So they haven't performed great since playing against us, which Navy can look as a bright side in hopes that maybe he'll end up carrying that over to the game against us. Hopefully he'll play just as bad, if not worse, and maybe our defense and the team in general can finally get into the motions and finally win a game. I mean, we need a win, especially to this home crowd. We keep coming home and losing games. Eventually, we're going to get fired. And it's not going to be because of the staff. It's going to be because the fans hate our guts. But either way, we're going to gear up in Week 8 of the 2025 NFL season. Indianapolis Colts host the Tennessee Titans, the second meeting between these two teams. And both teams have performed not great and barely to any expectations. I mean, Colts are 1-6. The Tennessee Titans are 2-5. But we'll go underway for Week 8 of the 2025 NFL season. It's going to return by Ashton Dolan. So he'll get to the 28-yard line. And here he is. Daniel Jones will make his first start with the Indianapolis Colts. 76 completion percentage on his first outing in the second half against the Chargers. First play is a handoff to Jonathan Taylor as he'll get a 3-yard gain. He had a lot in the game against the Chargers. He had to do a lot single-handedly. That's fine, because that's what we expect from Jonathan Taylor. Nice defensive play by Cody Barton, their linebacker. Forces a stop is 3rd and 12. Up the middle is incomplete. Meant for Jonathan Taylor, and the Colts will go 3-and-out on their first drive of the day, with also a loss of 2 yards. And not ideal. Punt kick, and this one is going to be completely muffed, or not muffed, but a terrible kick that's going to go to the 44-yard line. And great room for Cam Ward and his Tennessee Titans offense. Last time we met, they completely killed us. Let's hope that this time around it's a little bit different. First play for the Tennessee offense, handed off to Pollard. He's going to lose 7. We didn't get a lot of those kind of plays back in week 3. against this run game. So hopefully it's a little bit different. They ended up going 3-and-out on their drive, surprisingly. So the Tennessee Titans will give us the ball back. Not too bad of a punt, except there's laundry on the field. And so roughing the kicker penalty on the Colts. It's on Daniel Scott, the second string free safety. So unfortunately, that'll give the Tennessee Titans another opportunity to get into the end zone or at least put 3 on the board because they're at the 30-yard line now. It's 2nd and 7. Cam Ward backs up the pass, trying to buy some time out the pocket, finds his target, Calvin Ridley. Oh, that's not Calvin Ridley, sorry. Tyler Scott. Apologies, I forget names. And the Tennessee Titans will make up for their first mistakes, take advantage of the penalty, and get into the end zone and take the 7-0 lead. Now it's still time for Daniel Jones, as he finds Tyler Warren on the left side. One-on-one, Tyler Warren, 9 times out of 10, is going to make a big-time play. He does it there. He's done it mostly all year. He's been one of the funnest players on this team. Screenplay for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to break away. He gets shot out of a cannon. Sorry, but he'll be a little bit short. They go with a run play, handing off to Jonathan Taylor, and it's just enough to get the first down and slightly a little bit more. Jonathan Taylor has been one of the bright spots this year despite his inconsistent play as he gets sacked. Jones goes down, loss of 8. It's Jeffrey Simmons. And now the Colts have to convert from third and quite a distance, and he misses his target, meant for Josh Downs. And another negative drive for the Indianapolis Colts. Jeffrey Simmons with the big-time sack on Daniel Jones. Play actions fake by Ward. Wide open up the middle. Is a nice throw for a first down. That's for Calvin Ridley. The Titans will move the chains, looking to double their numbers and put up 14. Following play, outside bounce handoff to Tony Pollard. Nice spin move on Charvarius Ward. He'll get about 4 or 5 yards. Following play, Ward hands it back to Pollard. This time he's caught around the line of scrimmage for a no-gain loss, about 1. 3rd and 6, and he'll find his target on the right side of the field for another Titans first down. That's their 5th of the game, by the way. Cam Ward to throw again. It's another underneath throw. It's Tyler Lockett again for another first down. That will close out the first quarter. They're in goal line range. It's 3rd and goal up the right side, incomplete. Charvarius Ward was there. Tennessee has to kick the field goals. Now 10-0 as Jones is sacked again. A loss of about 5 yards. You can't take too many of those hits if you're Daniel Jones. That's Montez Sweat. Probably haven't heard that name in a while. So Jones will have to find a way to make a play. Goes deep downfield, and that is caught. First down in Tennessee Titans territory. And that's Josh Downs. And further review, wanted to see if he actually kept both his feet, and that's a crazy catch. He did keep both his feet in bounds. So that play will stay safe. It's now 3rd and 8. Can they get downfield? That's another great catch by Josh Downs. Josh Downs has been my favorite receiver on this team, honestly. He's been making some big-time plays next to Tyler Warren when he's needed to. Play action fake on Jonathan Taylor. Jones is going to go to the left side, finds Tyler Warren in the end zone on the edge, and the Colts will manage and squeak out 6 points for their first touchdown of the game. And it was a rocky drive. A big-time throw by Daniel Jones. We didn't see a lot of those by Anthony Richardson throughout the year. That's now touchdown number 3 for Daniel Jones. And Colts will cut this deficit. Wide open underneath is Tony Pollard. This was his own coverage, and he was wide open the whole way through. And they're already in Indianapolis territory. Now hand it off to Pollard, and again he's just about stuffed around the line of scrimmage. Kenny Moore there to make a big time play. Hopefully he does improve the second half of the year. Another hand off to Pollard, and he again has nowhere to go. He has -5 yards on the ground. What the heck is happening in Tennessee with Tony Pollard? 3rd and 7. Can the Colts get the stop? They don't normally in third down conversions. Deep throw, incomplete. One-on-one, nice job by Jones just to bat it away. The Colts get the ball back, hand off to Taylor right up the gut for a first down. He hasn't been a big-time player yet, but hopefully he will break through at some point in this game. Hand off to Taylor, good blocking, finds a hole. He's got running room. No one's in front of him. Can he outrun him? And he will. And commentators curse Jonathan Taylor a 70-yard run into the end zone. I'm looking at it again. He just broke through. That was a great block on the left side to free him up. And just like that, the Colts take the lead, their first of the game, 14-10. This is going to be returned to the 27. Jonathan Taylor hasn't gotten a lot of those plays, but he's never been that kind of player. There's another hand off the Pollard, and again he gets stuffed by this Colts defense. 2nd and 13, Cam Ward to throw. He's got time, and he'll go on the middle, but it's incomplete. So now it's 3rd and 13. Ward with time. He's going to choose to run out the pocket and just slide. Not going to risk taking a big hit. And it's a 3-and-out now for Tennessee. As the Indianapolis Colts defense, for once, actually stepped up to the plate. We haven't seen the defense do really good since the Chargers game, which is that going to be the case in this game? I want to curse it. 2nd and 10 for Daniel Jones. Left side. He finds Adonai Mitchell for the first down. He is starting in place of Alec Pierce. Hand off to Taylor. He gets the first down a little bit more. Yes, Adonai Mitchell, he's taking Alec Pierce's place in the receiver spot. Someone that I've been wanting to play a lot for a while now. Jones finds Taylor underneath. Rounds the corner inside the 10. And the Colts looking to build on this lead with under 2 minutes left to go in the first half. The Tennessee Titans get the ball after the half is over. So if you're the Colts, you just got to build on this lead. Do what you can to increase this deficit and waste as much clock as you can if you can. Jones play action fake, wide open up the middle. And it's Adonai Mitchell, his first touchdown of the season. And just like that, the Colts take a 20-10 ball lead. This offense rapid fire. Cam Ward trying to buy time deep downfield. He's got a man beat. And just like that, that's all it took. Calvin Ridley burnt his defender. I don't know who it is. It might have been Jalen Jones. That's all it takes to get the Tennessee Titans back in this game. It is Jalen Jones who gets burnt. So now it's a 1-minute warning for the Colts. Nice throw to Tyler Warren on the left side. Under 20 seconds left to go. Colts still have a timeout. They'll go up the middle to Mitchell. And clock is ticking. And the Colts are going to decide to call a timeout. They will take their field goal. And a pretty hectic first half as the Colts lead 24-17, looking for their second win of the season. Tennessee looking to completely sweep the Colts this year. This should be a fun one. To reach the halftime report, the 1-6 Cleveland Browns take on the Drake May-led New England Patriots. And nice throw at the middle by Joe Flacco. I wish the CPU would start their rookie quarterback, so maybe I had to change that manually. But the Browns ended up winning that one, 24-21. They've got their second win of the season. Well, you know, the Browns can actually play some football. Philadelphia Eagles will host the New York Giants. Saquon Barkley taking on his former team yet again, and he's going to completely run through this entire defense And the Eagles will yet again take another win, 35-29. When are the Giants going to start Jackson Dart? Like I said, I may have to manually do some stuff with that. But that'll do for the halftime report, because apparently there are other games that the game isn't going to show. So that's fine. But in this game, we actually had the lead, but because we're like giving up big time plays, it's not by as big as a margin as we would like. But we're up. And I think that's all that really matters. But it's been a mostly offensive game. Daniel Jones versus Cam Ward has been that kind of game today. I hope it doesn't continue to be that kind of game, and we can get through to this Tennessee offense. But now we'll get back to the Tennessee's Titans side on offense. He kicks it out. Right side, that's Chigakonkwo, who is a yard short of the first down marker. And the play action fake by Ward up the middle. That is intercepted. Kenny Moore, his first pick of the NFL season. That's Ward's sixth pick of the season, his sixth straight. I want to say fifth straight. And the Colts will get the ball right back. Now, I wish they changed the celebration, because sometimes it glitches for some reason for interceptions. I don't get it. But Kenny Moore, nice big time play. That's the best we've seen him play all season. Tight coverage. And that's all you can do. Bad throw, I think, by Cam Moore. But then again, he wanted to trust his receiver to make a play. And generally hate that. The Colts offense will come back in the field. Jonathan Taylor currently leads the rushing yard numbers, which shouldn't be a surprise. As we'll see what this Colts offense can do on their first drive of the second half. Daniel Jones, he's played really good so far. He'll hand this one off to Jonathan Taylor. He will gain about 3. Outside of that big play he had in the second quarter, about that 70-yard run, he's been pretty solid as Daniel Jones misses his target. That was meant for Mitchell again. It's been one of his favorite targets in this game. 3rd and 7, wide open is Adonai Mitchell. Makes up for his earlier mistakes, breaks off a tackle. He'll get to the 26-yard line. And Jones has been pretty efficient, 13 of 22. He's got over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Anthony Richardson, who? Let's not be disrespectful, okay? Hand off to DJ Giddens. And like I said, he's shifty as he always has been. Gets to the 14-yard line. He's going to remain in the game. Get the ball again. And he is taken down around the line of scrimmage. Only a gain of 2. Now play action fake. Jones is sacked. Loss of 9 yards. That's the 3rd time he's been sacked today. And Sebastian Joseph Day, who makes the play. Now it's 3rd and 7, and Jones will just check it down to DJ Giddens just to try to maintain field goal position, rather than trying to make some big time play if he doesn't have to. But the Colts will make the field goal, so it's now a 10-point lead. Quick throw to Calvin Ridley up the middle. He is taken down by 2 guys, and he's actually shaken up on the field. And hopefully for Tennessee's sake, he is alright, because he is one of their better targets on this team. It's now 3rd and 2. Ward will throw this football. Wide open on the left side is Pollard. He was completely butt naked wide open. I don't know how he got so free. But that's another first down for a 3rd down conversion, for Tennessee, as that's incomplete. Sengo Nalubi was there to make the play. Not a great throw by Cam Ward, but not a terrible one. He's going to run again, and he is sacked for the first time today. What a play. I'm going to say his name wrong. I'm just going to say JT. But he gets the sack first on the day for Cam Ward. And the Tennessee Titans have to punt the ball away again. It's not going great for them. They're running out of time. They are only down by 10, and there's still plenty of time on the field in the game. There's still a whole quarter. As nice play to Tyler Warren up the middle for first down. The defender tried to break Tyler Warren's back because he sure didn't go for that football. Let's look at it again. He just tried to make a play on Warren and tried to end his whole NFL career. Nice throw to the left side for Michael Pittman for a gain of 8. Haven't heard his name a lot in this one. 3rd and 2, gives it to Taylor as he can't break through the defense. Sebastian Joseph Day is there again. It's a 4th and 1. And are the Indianapolis Colts going to choose to go for it? Or are they just going to play it safe and punt this ball away? They choose to punt the ball away. Let's play it safe. They have a 10-point lead. No reason to force anything. Up the middle. Nice find by Cam Ward. As he'll move the chains. That's not Tyler Lockett. A 2nd and 10. Tony Pollard in motion. He hasn't been great today. Outside handoff, and as soon as I say that, he loses 4 yards. And it's the newly acquired Jalen Reeves-Maybin who makes the play. Now it's 3rd and 14 near a Walmart parking lot. This one's going deep, and it's caught by the receiver. Beats Javarius Ward, and that's the rookie, Chimera DK. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Who basically mosses Javarius Ward, and he finds his way into the end zone. What are you doing, Ward? Never turned around for that football. Tried to bat it away, and DK just outran him. Big time play. It's a great play for the rookie receiver. That's something he could tell his family, but that's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's a 27-24 ball game. It's been kind of close the whole way through. Not a lot of defense played in this one. That may continue to be the case. 2nd and 9 for Daniel Jones as he's sacked again for the 4th time today. It's Jerome Baker. And Jones has not had the best pocket in this one. Sorry, it's Darrell Baker. I'm stupid. But now it's 3rd in a Walmart parking lot. Jones trying to buy some time. Incomplete with a flag. It's on the Indianapolis Colts for holding. Matt Goncalves. And the Tennessee Titans just take this in the 4th down. They're going to play it smart. As the Colts punt this ball away. Tennessee going to have great field position regardless. There's a good return by Tyler Lockett. He gets to the 37. Tennessee looking to take the lead here, at least tie the game up. Hand off to Pollard, goes outside. Still nowhere for him to go. He's had it terrible in this one. I think that's not saying much. Cam Ward up the middle, wide open. Is Tyler Lockett. He'll get the 1st down and a lot more. No one within 5 yards of him on that catch. And Mekhi Blackman just gets beat all over in one-on-one coverage. Tennessee fakes the handoff, gives it to Pollard, and still nowhere to go. And that play just took a long time to develop. Ibukum celebrating, but there's a Tennessee Titan injured on the field. That should be a flag. Instead, it's not. 3rd and 12, and Ward finds Chikakonkwo, beats out Jalen Reeves-Maybin, and he's in the end zone. And the Tennessee Titans, first time since the 2nd quarter, I would say, take back the lead. Jalen Reeves-Maybin got beat by Chikakonkwo with his own coverage and just didn't follow him. 31-27. Jones trying to find time. He finds Josh Downs a yard short of the 1st down marker. This one handoff to Jonathan Taylor. Free. It's nice juke move. And gets to the 48-yard line. With under 9 minutes left to go, Indianapolis trails by 4. Play action fake by Jones. He is hit as he throws. Avoids sack number 5. Tennessee not a team that gets a lot of them. They've been all over Daniel Jones, but he hasn't been scared to throw this football. Finds Josh Downs up the middle again. He's in one of his favorite targets. 3rd and 2. Time almost runs out on the shot clock. It's not the shot clock. It's a game clock. But Jonathan Taylor will get the 1st down anyways. With a little under 8 minutes left to go. It's crunch time now for Indianapolis. They have a lot of time left, but 8 minutes at the same time can also not be a lot of time to work with. Outside run for Jonathan Taylor. He won't be able to get by the defender. So that is no gain. One of the best plays the defense has made on Jonathan Taylor. Outside of the play from earlier, which stuffed him on 3rd down. DJ Giddens gets the ball up the middle for another first down. Colts trying to use up some of this clock. Jones with time. And he will make a terrible decision. Throws it in the coverage, and that's intercepted. And that throw is completely on me. I shouldn't have forced that throw. That's just a terrible decision. You gotta just throw it away in that scenario. Tennessee gets the ball back with under 6 minutes left. And now Tennessee has the advantage towards the clock, and they've been giving it to Tony Pollard, and it just has not worked. He has -2 yards off of 20 rush attempts. That's how bad of a day it's been for Mr. Tony Pollard. But Cam Ward, he's going to go deep downfield. Passes incomplete. As Kenny Moore is there to defend it again. The Colts will get another opportunity to try and take this lead. They need a touchdown. 1st and 20 after a holding penalty. They'll kick it to Giddens, and he'll manage to get a bulk of the yards back and make it a 2nd and 6. After nothing, it's 3rd and 6, and Tyler Warren open right up the middle. Man-to-man coverage that left Tyler Warren on an island. Another first down for the Colts. DJ Giddens weaving through traffic. He'll get to the 15-yard line for another Colts first down. And they'll give it this time, to Jonathan Taylor. He gets stuffed. Loss of 2. It's Montez Sweat. 3rd and 12. Getting closer for the field goal. Doesn't matter. Dot by Daniel Jones. Up the middle. Michael Pittman Jr. We barely heard his name at all today. And he may have just made the game-winning touchdown. That's a great throw by Daniel Jones up the middle. Beat everybody. That's a dot if I've ever seen one. And now Tennessee, within the 2-minute warning, Cam Ward to throw, misses his target. Now it's 4th and 10, and it's all or nothing here. They do have timeouts to work with if they don't get it. But it doesn't matter. Nice throw, a nice job by Tyler Lockett just to get to the ground. Just take his yards. And Tennessee doesn't necessarily have to hurry up. A field goal ties this ball game up altogether. Cam Ward to throw. He's got time. He's had it all day. Throws the ball away. This pass rush has not been heavy on Cam Ward. 3rd and 3. He'll throw it again with under 1:30. Downfield. That is caught. Crazy catch by Laviska Shenault. He's made good plays today. We haven't really said anything about his name a lot. But that's the biggest. Again, Kenny Moore just doesn't turn around for the football. Tries to make a play with his back turned as he had a receiver open. Tony Pollard. I don't know why Kenny Moore celebrating like he did anything. He would have just gave up the game-losing touchdown. And Cam Ward shaking his head at that one. 3rd and 14. You need to get something here. Cam Ward to throw. And finds a target on the right side. Chigakonkwo. Tennessee will hurry up. They don't really need to, if you ask me. It's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. And they will kneel it. With 21 seconds to go. 2nd and goal. And up the middle, Tony Pollard's got nowhere to go. They'll use a timeout. They'll kick the field goal at 3rd and goal. And it is good. So, iffy clock managed, if you ask me, by Tennessee. They could have went for one more play, but with no timeouts, I guess you don't want to risk it. So, under 20 seconds left, Daniel Jones up the middle finds Adonai Mitchell for the first down. He's at the 40-yard line. The Colts used their second to last timeout, or actually their final timeout. And we'll see if the Tennessee Titans will actually regret leaving Daniel Jones with that much time. That's a great throw and a good catch by Mitchell. The pass is a little overthrown. 10 seconds to go. Finds Michael Pittman on the left side. He goes out of bounds for another first down. 2 big plays for Daniel Jones. It's a zone coverage. And it's a blown coverage. They're playing underneath. They're not paying attention to Michael Pittman on the out route. And he's got free room. And this kick is going to be good. There is a flag on the play, and it's roughing the kicker on the Tennessee Titans. With 3 seconds left to go, Darrell Baker, he picked the ball off earlier. It doesn't matter. We end up declining the penalty and just taking our field goal to waste the rest of those 3 seconds. We're not going to make the same mistake they did. And we make the field goal, and the Tennessee Titans lose 37-34. And the Indianapolis Colts will finally get their first win since week 2 against the Broncos. And this was a hellish game if I've ever saw one. I think the Tennessee Titans realistically should have won that game. They had the field position. They didn't have the timeout, so they realistically didn't want to risk anything. So I'm not saying it was a bad decision. Also, Darrell Baker didn't get that interception. I'm stupid. But they didn't want to take a risk and make a bad play and waste the rest of that clock. Daniel Jones gets the victory, his first start. It was a battle between both Jones and Cam Ward. Over 800 yards of total passing yards. 7 total touchdowns, and it was just a quarterback battle. Tony Pollard looked absolutely awful. He didn't let the same Tony Pollard that we met last time he played. Jonathan Taylor basically continuing picking up where he left off last week. DJ Giddens had a pretty good night. I would say giving him the ball. I do like giving him the ball in rows, so Jonathan Taylor doesn't have to take the bulk of the receptions or bulk of the touches. But a big game for all these receivers. Tyler Lockett, Tyler Warren had over 100 yards. Adonai Mitchell in his first start and closed in on 100 yards. Josh Downs with some really good plays and really good catches. Michael Pittman, one of the better touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, Chimere Dike had that 73-yard catch over Tavarius Ward. Basically mossed him. His name's going to be immortalized, at least in this game, but it's going to end in a loss. A lot of sacks on Daniel Jones, though. I mean, he took quite a beating. In this one, 4 different sacks. JT with the only sack from us on Cam Ward. We didn't get a lot of pressure on him. But Kenny Moore with the big interception. Did that change the game? Possibly. I think it did. But look back at the big 2 plays that we had in this one. This one was the pass to Adonai Mitchell. And Darrell Baker just was on the outside. Daniel Jones just threw it inside. Adonai Mitchell beat him, got off the receiver, and you just got to find the timing and make a good throw. The pass is a little overthrown, and the safety is coming right at him. But good job by Adonai Mitchell to hold on to the football. Don't be scared of the defender. If you drop it, this game likely goes to overtime. And the second throw, I did kind of go into detail about this. Michael Pittman, again a defensive blunder. It's zone coverage. And the defender just goes away from Michael Pittman. They're trying to defend the underneath route. Or they're expecting Daniel Jones to throw it here and pick the ball off and send it to OT. But Daniel Jones, nice job just waiting it out. Michael Pittman got open, stepped out of bounds. The perfect play for the Indianapolis Colts to steal this game from Tennessee. And the Colts will take their second win of the season. And maybe can look to turn things around. Look at the weekly recap around the league. Also, we didn't mention Kalijah Kancey. I didn't play him a whole lot in this game. I wanted to kind of keep it realistic and not give him a whole lot of snaps. But back to this game, it was a tight game. Loved to showing this highlight. Nice throw to Michael Pittman. Probably one of the best balls that I've thrown in Madden. And the Colts will finally get their second win of the season. And the Tennessee Titans dropped to the same record as us, 2-6. A fun one in Los Angeles. The Vikings and the Chargers went head-to-head. Justin Herbert versus J.J. McCarthy. Battle of the white quarterbacks. And a great throw by Justin Herbert to Ladd McConkey, who's going to show off and catch it with one hand. And my Vikings lose 31-28. Unfortunately for me. And then finally, the Broncos hosted the Cowboys. In this one, Bo Nix at the 40-yard line. He's going to drop a complete bomb to the right side in double coverage. Somehow he broke through. That's J.K. Dobbins, the running back, and he's single-handedly helped the Broncos get past the Cowboys. And they're going to win 17-14. Did that Bobby Wagner trade help him out? I don't know. Without me closing out the weekly recap, of course, as we always do, I could look into games around the NFL because why would we not? We see that the Jets barely got by the Bengals. Houston Texans will lose to San Francisco. Buffalo takes a game over Carolina. A low-scoring game between Atlanta and Miami. And also the Pittsburgh Steelers, who we'll see next, lose to Green Bay 20-14. A low-scoring affair. Aaron Rodgers loses to his former team. He didn't play that bad, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, but the yardage doesn't really show, and he got sacked quite a lot. Jordan Love didn't look that much better at all. It was really a game of defenses in this one. DK Metcalf did have a touchdown. Same with DJ Chark as well for the Steelers. But Patrick Queen with a lot of tackles. And unfortunately for the Steelers, they're going to continue their poor season, losing yet another one. But we finally get a win. We're closing in on that bye week. We have 2 more games against the Steelers and the Falcons. And then the second half of the year, I think, is going to be about harder than the first half. We got the 49ers, we got the Seahawks, we got the Jaguars and the Texans twice. We haven't seen them yet. And we got the Kansas City Chiefs, which they're still the Kansas City Chiefs despite them being the worst team in the NFL. But now the new standings, we're going to, of course, now that we're in the later stages of the season, we're going to start looking at these a lot more often at the end of the episode, just to give ourselves an idea of what's going on around the NFL. But the Chiefs right now are the worst team in the NFL. The Steelers are 2-5, which, like I said, we'll see them next. The Cowboys have been pretty inconsistent. The Jaguars have been the best team in the AFC South, despite the division being pretty weak right now. Patriots are playing some pretty good football. They did lose to the Browns, though. The Vikings, Cardinals, Commanders. The Ravens are actually only the 7th team in the NFL. And the Bills are the only undefeated team at this point. They're 7-0. The 49ers are 7-1. They're still looking pretty dominant. This is going to be scary, the simple fact that we are going to have to play against them in the next episode. Or next episode, sorry. Later in the year, especially that being our only primetime game of the year as well. I'd also probably mentioned that once or twice before. The Steelers are the worst scoring offense in the entire league. We look at the AFC South. It's still a pretty close race to be considered. I mean, the Jaguars are 3-4. Every other team is playing under 500. But still, it's about a bang race in the AFC if we're ever going to see one. That'll be it for this episode of the Colts franchise. I'm sorry this one took a long time. Hopefully that won't happen again. I know I always say it, but this time I really hope. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm posting a lot of Madden. See you guys later.